sus y'all, how y'all doing? I was gonna start a new game in Dark Souls 2, then I realized I can actually turn it into content in the barren wasteland of my YouTube channel. So, this will be very interesting. If you have what humans call as eyes, you will notice that the game is sped up. This is so that your viewing experience doesn't look like this. Not because I played at that speed, like, who do you think I am? Yes, mania? Speaking of which, the day after I created my character, Yasmania uploaded a video where his character looked like this. Like, bro, you're making me look like I'm copying you, man. Which I am, but I'm only saying that to pretend to maintain transparency. Sort of like our government, you know.
In case the title wasn't clear enough.
In this video, I'm doing a Skeleton Lord build as I've wanted to do this for a long time. And also because I've never done a dark build before. Anyway, fuck you, Dragon Rider. Dragon Rider took a dip and I immediately used his soul to get more money for more level ups. Now next is to collect more Estus shards for my Estus juice. Buy 2 fire bombs here. Go up this sword to collect my temporary weapon. Which I don't have the required stats, so I will have to farm more money. I picked up this shield for farming method I see on YouTube. Damn! Yeah, I think I'll stick to bonfire acid. But first, I need the economy ring, so I bought a pair of trousers from this horrible old Chrome. Also use the lockstone here to obtain the energy ring. Then use a bonfire acid here to kill Dragon Rider for the second time. By the way, this guy I just passed will still drop a sublime bonus, even when using a bonfire acid, so effectively you can just farm sublime bonus here. Also remember this red phantom. Dragon Rider dies. I talked to Nameless Usurper and remember the red phantom? I level up and then went to the Huntsman Copse to collect my true weapon. I did some Huntsman Copse stuff and finally met the Skeleton Lords. Look at those damage! Before heading back to Majula, I talked to Taylor Swift to invite her to come over to Majula with me. Now that I have the Skeleton Lord soul, I have to take it over to King Seeker Fremd. And the fastest way is through No Man's Wharf, so I speedrun through it. Here's a little guide on how to skip ruined sentinels. Once you've reached the Lost Bastille, you get here. Shoot the fire arrow you got from Forest of Fallen Giants to blow up these barrels, and the door is now unlocked. Then collect the antiquated key, destroy this wall, continue on, and use a lockstone here, and you'll get to the elevator below Fremd Cell. There's also the bone stuff here in this chest that I will use later, once I got the required stats. Then, I don't have a branch. Now, I actually planned this so that I can activate the bonfire at Sinner's Rise. I teleport to Harvest Valley and took this branch to successfully unpetrify Kingseeker Fremd. Now the Roaring Halberd is at my possession. Although I usually don't like halberds, because you have to hit it with the very tip of the halberd to actually deal damage, so it takes time and a little bit of practice to use it properly. Last giant go down easily enough. And next is the Dark Resistant Pursuer. This is when I think it's time to get my proper drip, so another Dark Resistant boss it is. But before that, I bought Dark Weapon for more damage. Look at it! Beautiful! Now, Executioner's Chariot is actually not very difficult if you use Alluring Skulls, provided that of course you don't forget it. Or if you simply suck at using halberds. Eventually I defeated the boss, but this guy won't talk to me unless I have a token of spite, so I have to go down to the gutter. My balls were literally shivering here. I killed this lizard just in case I want to use the Dark Knight Stone. Token of Spite acquired! Teleport to Undead Purgatory. Now the jeep is complete. The next target is another dark resistant boss, the Rotten. I want to kill him now because there are a shit ton of petrified dragon bone in the Sunken DLC. So I buff my weapon, use power within and... Damn! That's damage. Then I died. I didn't waste power within the next time and... Although I accidentally misclicked E at the very end there, giving me a ball-shivering experience, I eventually win. Then I level up my int so that I can finally use my staff. Next is the Sunken DLC. The materials I acquired allowed me to upgrade my helper to plus chi. The economy ring plus 2 is a required ring in each of my playthroughs, so next boss is the fat ass demon.
My third time!
Go to Lost Bastille and collect this bonfire acid. Use the acid here. Juhan and his shield. Summon Jester Thomas. Then wait until he kills Mitha. Also bash her every now and then as well to make sure that Jester Thomas doesn't die.
Now you have the economy ring blast too!
Oh yeah! Best area time! I collect the Duff Ember and remember that I forgot to use my money. So I immediately level up. Look at how much damage I deal to Furnace Demon. I'd also be doing a lot more damage if I didn't forget that there's a Dragon Bone in Iron Keep. What the fuck is that fucking hitbox? Old Iron King is also really not that hard. Next, I killed this pursuer for the Ring of Blades +1. The Iron DLC is next because I want more upgrade materials. In my first attempt of Few Knight, I died intentionally, definitely, because I forgot to upgrade my halberd. And that is exactly why I win the next attempt. I died on my first attempt of Magical Demon, and I also had to be half naked in the next attempt in order to not fat roll in the run back. So the jeep is temporarily gone. Anyway, I died like 3 more times. I don't know why Magical Demon is now suddenly very hard. I didn't go to the Sunken DLC because I can't do Sir alone yet. Elana is not really that hard. I can feel myself getting better at using this gun. Same thing with Sin, although he flies a lot more than usual. I don't think I'll ever be good at dodging his leg swipes. I wasn't gonna record the Gang Squad because of how uninteresting it is, but something interesting does happen. For some reason, after I killed Esta, Dragon Tooth doesn't attack me at all. Instead, he just blocks. And I can't do a repose on him. Berserker Blade also doesn't move at all, but thankfully he returns back to normal after I hit him. Really weird bug, I don't know why that happens. John Ratatouille is next on the list. I love Halbert in this game. Next is Chaos Switch Nachka, where you use the same attack over and over again, like playing those 2D fighting games with your friends. I assume Big Fat Ratatouille would be pretty difficult because of the Halbert moveset, but it's surprisingly easy. Probably Megas is still uninteresting as ever, except for the fact that he isn't exactly in the mood of getting backstabbed today.
Duke's dear Freya is still so boring.
By the way, look at this crap. See how this weapon has an A scaling in Dex? Leveling up Dex 8 times only increases the damage by 8 points, like... What the hell, man? What is this shit? Junglei Castle time! Damn you, Licia! Dragon Rider Duo are absolutely destroyed. Here's Mirror Knight. Seaman of Dong is still as boring as ever, so here's something more interesting. Lycia refusing to be jump attacked. Velstad is resistant to dark, but still he's not really that difficult. Actually, fun fact, I actually killed Velstad before his second phase in my last playthrough where I used the Ujikatana, which is pretty strange because he entered his second phase much earlier here. While heading to Altia's Keep, I picked up the beautiful red tearstone ring, take a chill pill with Leucatil, and then shortly after I killed her brother. Guardian Dragon hasn't changed a bit. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Damn! This is actually the game foreshadowing the fate of this giant. Now, it's time to fight the actual worthy opponent. I entered the memory of the old Iron King, and at the end was Sir alone, waiting for me. Defeated him in my first try. I feel like I'm getting better at this, guys. Next thing I did is collect some giant soul from Vendrick. Traveling through time and space and memories. Speaking of memories, I actually watched Venom: The Last Dance in January, and although I think it is pretty average, I think the ending is excellent. And the song Memories by Maroon 5 used at the very end of the movie is a song that I've always not exactly hate but not exactly like either. But when it is played at the very end there, it hits me like a truck or a big ass gigantic ball of boulder. And now I love it, like very mysterious when you think about the human brain and the stuff that can happen in it, you know. Back to Dark Souls 2, here's me in Alaska. Almost getting killed by an Alaskan tiger because I got greedy. By the way, I hate this boss so much. I feel like the damage is just randomized and shit. I then continued my hunt for Alaskan tigers. I died on my first attempt and everything was going well in my second attempt. I killed the first tiger until I panic heal and I die. I gotta say I overreacted a bit here because I punched a wall next to me really hard multiple times that my knuckles started bleeding and shit. The problem with this boss is not the boss itself but the run. Actually, I lied! The boss is garbage! And the runbacks is even worse! Anyway, here's something comforting I did while recruiting the knights earlier. The fight before Burnt Ivory King is also surprisingly easy. Maybe halberds aren't so bad after all. And as for the king himself, this weapon also deals a lot of poise damage. Here's me breaking the poise of Charred Lois Knights and Havel Guy in a single light attack. Here's another very difficult for me boss that I somehow defeated in my first attempt. Who are you choosing? Me or Emerald Herald? Comment down below! I prepped myself a little bit for the Throne couple, leveling up my dex to 50 for a whopping 33 more damage! Whoa! I also finally used my Dark Tearstone ring for a whopping 30 more damage! I fucking hate this boss. Then I defeated the Sandra without needing to use a single divine blessing. I then walked up the throne of Want to finally declare myself the Skeleton Queen of Drangleic, burdened with the responsibility of safekeeping the kingdom and its people. Wait a minute! I forgot something!
Curses. Puzzle me out, don't you?